I like it even more now. Take 7 off the official document for losing your job, and you get the P38. The Range Rover P38, the one that replaced the Classic. Though I don't think they called it the Classic at the time, they just called it the Range Rover. Loved by those with the money and the pockets to show. Never quite as popular a design as the original Range Rover, or the one that came after it, where they copied the original. And the one in between, the P38, which some might say looks a bit like a Japanese Range Rover. Nobody bought a Range Rover expecting it to be cheap on fuel, except for those buying a diesel. This one's not diesel, it's a petrol. And you didn't get a 2-litre version, you get a 4-cylinder Range Rover. It's always going to be a V8. And when the 4-litre or the 4.6 litre wasn't quite enough, you could send this car over to Overfinch and they would do all sorts of stuff. And there we are, Overfinch. If this was my car, I'd want to get another R and call it the Rover Finch, which could be some sort of strange hybrid animal, like, you know, a little Tweety bird that's also a dog. But what is Overfinch? Is it just a name? Is it just a badge that you might wear on a t-shirt? Is it something to show off about? Is it like a new pair of trainers? Is it balls? Overfinch would take a standard car and do whatever you liked with it, within reason. Whether it be change the engine, change the brakes, change the interior, change whatever you like. Change the shell, turn it into a Shogun. Not that bit. So this one has a special exhaust. It has uprated brakes. It's a standard Range Rover colour though. This one, of all things, came with a PlayStation. Yeah, unusual, I know. So the PlayStation is built into it, and then screens in the headrests, which are, well, they don't appear to be there. Apparently they got stolen. The styling of the Range Rover P38 is a bit slabby, just a bit. Although it's managed to retain some of these lines along the edges there that give it away as a Range Rover and not a Toyota. 18-inch wheels and its original air suspension. Air suspension, you can imagine it's going to be comfortable. Is it going to be the magic carpet ride that you would expect? Attention to detail we will find an awful lot of in this car. Lovely soft leather, carpet, wood. Great seating position, nice materials, proper wood, coins, slightly broken bits, and oh, is that an aftermarket screen? Properly commanding driving position. Seat feels really high up. Knees are quite close to the dashboard there. I'd rather have my knees close to that than my face close to this, which you get an awful lot of in modern cars. Oh. This is nice. Velvety A-pillar trim, velvety B-pillar trim. They forgot about the C-pillar, but they put it on the D. Nice soft headlining as well. It's important to be comfortable in the back. And if I move that out of the way, door shut sounds not a strong point. Oh, no, I didn't realise that. It has got a split folding tailgate. Perfect. A lovely place to sit in the drizzle here in Blackpool. Quite possibly we get to the exciting part with the bonnet open. Land Rover and Range Rover do love their clamshell bonnets, and so do I. And I do like a big V8. 4.6, painted blue. I don't know whether that's a standard thing, must find out. Big battery, of course. Lots of wiring and piping and malarkey, and ooh, look at this, a noisy air intake. I think this is going to make quite a bit of noise. It's quiet. It's certainly quiet at the moment, whilst I'm not doing anything disrespectful. It feels quite soft. There's not masses of play in the steering, but then there's not masses of not play in the steering either. The only trouble I'm having here is I haven't got a clue where I am. Going for a test drive isn't quite as the usual comfortable experience, because I don't want to find myself lost in a Range Rover with no fuel in it. I'm going to try out the heated seats. This doesn't seem like a particularly good place to go because it's a bit congested. I love being able to see where I'm going. It's just seems to be a bit of a novelty in modern cars. The brakes are nice and sharp and the steering is nowhere near as wobbly as I was expecting. It's a bit firmer than I thought it was going to be as well. I thought it was going to be a proper lollopy bus, but no, it's not. What's it sound like if you go a bit foot downy? This has 300 brake horsepower. 300 brake horsepower. It's quite a lot, that. Not a massive amount in such a big, bulky thing, of course, but it's still, nobody with deep pockets would get out of bed for less than 300 brake horsepower. Over the roundabout or round it? I don't bounce over it, do I? So I'll do it the safe way. You definitely wouldn't expect this car to be difficult to drive, and obviously it isn't. But I'm surprised by such an old vehicle on how car-like it actually is, as considering it might be a bit of a lolloping old thing, but it's just not. What are the turning circles like? Let's find that out. Oh, it's good. That's better than I was expecting. Some cars you get to kind of instantly like, and this is one. Generally, any Land Rover products, I find that they've got enough character about them that you can forgive them for having a few things wrong with them, like corrosion, because of just how easygoing they are. This is easygoing. This is so laid back. If it wasn't for the fact that I'm concerned about the amount of fuel in it, I would be having a right good blast here, but I daren't go too far, just in case. So what am I surprised by? I'm surprised by how unfloppy it is. And I'm also surprised by how muted the exhaust is as well. I honestly thought this was going to be a properly really heavy growling beast that would make its presence known everywhere, but instead it's kind of calm, and this gearbox is super smooth. Get ready for me to deliver a whole load of typical generic nonsense about the Range Rover P38. It does exactly what you'd expect it to do, just a lot quieter and a lot smoother than I was expecting. What was I expecting it to be like? Some sort of dragster? No, I wasn't. I was expecting to be a dragster. I could be tempted to just go across the grass there. I think we'll get a bit more of a performance feel if I just set off quickly without relying on the kick down. Ready for 300 brake horsepower? It's deceptively quick because it's so soft and smooth. It doesn't feel like it's going quite as quick as it actually is. Another thing to be expected. Another bit of generic observation that I'm most famous for. If I was only famous. If I was famous, I'd be famous for giving information that everybody already knows. That's what I've decided. So you start pushing into the corners though, and it does heave and wobble around a little bit like a chocolate gangster. It's only taken a short drive for me to really get this car, really get the Range Rover. I would love one of these. but what does it do? But with a 4.6 litre V8 and an automatic gearbox, I bet you're not going to get 20 miles per gallon out of it. And that is a bit of a sticking point for me. I just realised I forgot to test sport mode. One sec. That's more like it. It's so typical of me to get in a car that has a sport mode button and forget to even press it. And that, especially when that particular button makes quite a bit of difference. Here we go, ready? That's fantastic. That's more like it. That's much better. Now it sounds like it should do. Now it sounds like I was expecting, and now I'm trying out that excellent turning circle again. I like it even more now. Now I know why this car is a keeper and it isn't for sale. It's because it seems to do everything just right. Almost everything. Guess what? I enjoyed that. That was fun. I hope you enjoyed the video as much as I enjoyed driving that car. Although obviously there's no way of knowing, because you might pretend to enjoy it and not enjoy it, or you might actually enjoy it and pretend not to do because, you know, you think I look like Gandalf. Actually, that was quite a funny comment, thank you. So thank you very much for watching, and thank you very much for liking and subscribing and doing all those other kind of things if you have. And if you haven't done them, thank you for thinking about doing it. Just, you know, get on with it, basically. The Range Rover was never a cheap car, but at least this one managed to fall into the hands of people that didn't have, not hands, but pockets to, not hands, but pockets that were full of cash. They might not have had hands big enough to clasp all that cash. Where am I going with this? I don't know. I'm probably going to put this on the end because it's utter bollocks.